Hi everyone guys, Naresh here.
Hi, Arish.
Hi.
Hi Vedika. Fine. Today we'll be just going through the analysis of the cube, building various hierarchies across various dimensions. Okay. So just before I proceed, just wanted to know if you have got any questions or any queries. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I do have a query. When you go
Yes.
to browse, you seem to be getting a different.
Okay.
How do you get that? Because I was trying to go through your training, but I wasn't able to see what you were doing. You clicked on sales territory, and then you said browse, I believe.
Sales territory and browse. No.
And
We'll do
various
step by step.
Okay.
No, that is not what I have done. Did you deploy your cube, Nivedita?
Yeah, I was able to.
Okay.
I
Just
changed
connect.
my missions.
Okay, let me just do one thing. Let me make you the presenter.
Oh, no, wait 1 second. I have it on.
Okay. Fine. Anyhow, I'll just go through once now, and in case you still have issues at the end of the session, then I'll make you the presenter. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So what I'll do is I'll just like delete up my cube first. Let me just go with fresh one. Let me remove my this thing. So I just had my data source. I'll just quickly build my view and then the cube. So just go with next, and then the same data source is what I'm picking. Go with next, and here I'll just drop it as sales. So I'm just taking in my fact internet sales. Okay, let me just make it big. I don't want this. I'm just going with a simple star schema. I have my dim time. Okay, dim customer. Okay. Sales territory. Just give me one more minute, guys. You have the dim time. Let me just get into geography. I don't know where this noise is coming from. I'm just looking if I can pull in any other dimension, that's it.
muted.
Just give me a minute, okay? Let me also pull in this particular dimension. I'm just like trying to build a hierarchy of the city also. I have my country name, state, and city. That's it. Okay. Excuse me. So I just get in here. So I've just added one fact table and remaining all multiple dimension tables. But of course, I would see this to be a snowflake schema. But then let's see how it looks. So. Yeah, of course. Dim customer is string dim geography table. So this is like one level of snowflake schema. And this again, both of them had a relationship. Okay, dim geography table also corresponds to a territory. Of course, the customer has a reference with the geography, and whereas my sales have got reference with my territory. So directly there is no relationship between my fact internet sales and my dim geography, but we can find out the customer came from which country and which city and province. Okay, I'm just going to build my queue. I move on with next, and I'm going to use my existing tables, and you can just click on suggest. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, and there is only one fact table. I move on with next. Now here you can select in what are all the measures you want to have it in your queue. So you can also remove a couple of them. Okay, so which we will not be making actual use of. Okay, so I think that's more or less the same. So I'm not including in my revision number and fact internet sales count. Okay, because at this point of time I'm not interested in analyzing that. And in this, definitely your fact table will not be a dimension here. Okay, so I have got the remaining stuff. I just go with next and then click on finish. So now I've got a cube with a couple of dimensions. Okay, now my requirement is to find out in which year how much of products have been sold. Okay, so for that what I'll do is I'll just take my dim dimension, my dimension of for the time, and I'm going to build in my hierarchies. So I'm just going to build in a hierarchy in which month, in which year, okay, I have made what was the sales amount. So you can either go with your financial year or you can go with your calendar year. So it's up to you. So I'll just build two hierarchies. So one for the financial year and one for the calendar year. So a dimension can have any number of hierarchies. But the first thing you'll have to do is you'll have to put them in your attributes. So this is your data source view. You can see on the top. So from data source view, the attribute should go into the attribute tab, and from here only you can build your hierarchies. So to create a new hierarchy, drag an attribute here. Okay. So I have my fiscal year, fiscal semester, fiscal quarter, and then you can have English month name. If you want to have on a weekly basis also, you can have the week and then the day. Okay, in a month. Okay, but then that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to build a hierarchy for the calendar year, and then I have my calendar semester, and then my calendar quarter, and my English month name, and then the time key. Okay, So I have got 5 levels in my hierarchy. You can say level 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now I'm just going to rename this and I'm going to say calendar. Okay. Now I'm going to build in one more hierarchy. So fiscal year, fiscal semester, fiscal quarter, and then I want the month name and the time key. And let me tell you, your primary key is very important for the internal processing of the cube by your analysis services. So even though you don't put your time key, doesn't make a difference, but generally we do put in this in order to improve the internal performances, because time key is purely numericals and all the relationships will be based and processed inside internally using the keys. Okay, so that's the reason if you see in your data warehouses, you will have a number of keys which will be used internally for your analysis. So the processing actually happens depending on the keys, and since we have defined a hierarchy, there would be a relationship between these attributes and they would be pulled into your cube depending upon your definition. Okay, so I'm just going to rename this as fiscal, but then you have a warning symbol and a blue color line here. So I'm just going to put on this, and it says attribute relationships do not exist between one or more levels. So just building a hierarchy by dragging and dropping will not be sufficient enough. We will also have to define the relationships between them. Okay. So now, how do we define? We have got here attribute relationships. Okay. Now this is your time key is mapped with every attribute at every level. Now semester should go and sit in your fiscal year, and quarter will get into your semester, and then your English month name. So this is the hierarchy, level 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Similarly this also. Okay. So your time key and English month are common for both of your levels. Okay. So now I get here, now I don't see any warnings. Now I have created two hierarchies for a single dimension called dim time. Now let's see how we can analyze. Okay. So before that I am just deploying the cube. It will say you proceed with deployment, the database will be overwritten. Let it be overwritten. I get a number of errors and I just get this internal error. I really don't know. I'm just right click, get onto your properties. Everything is the same. So do it in sequential. Let's say if the sequential is done. Okay. The process failed. It again failed with an internet error. And now I just get onto my management studio. Okay, so just push this inside. So now I have got my dim time. Now you cannot see your dim time. You can see due date, order date and shipping date. So I'll just get on to the Cube browser. Okay, I have already told you your time dimension is actually your due date, order date, and ship date. Now, in your shipping date, you have got your calendar hierarchy and your fiscal calendar. So from here you can know like what was the sales amount that was actually shipped during a particular calendar year, or what was the orders that were placed, or what was the due date for the products to be delivered. So depending upon your requirement, you can just go. Now we might have a question like, why did we get these three for your dim time dimension? The reason is very simple. It's just because of your fact internet sales. Because this has got multiple three relationships. Okay, if you look into your data source view, it has got three references. So I have got three foreign keys in my fact internet sales that was referring my time key. Okay, but whereas for the others it was only one-to-one relationship. That's the reason you have got. So depending upon your business requirement, you can break up any of the relationships. But then we had everything. Okay, that's the reason we have got due date, order date, and ship date dimension. Okay, so I have got three dimensions when you have included one dimension. So you'll have to be very careful. So depending upon your number of relationships in the fact table, those many dimensions would be created. Any questions still enough? Everything clear? John? Venkat, Nivedita?
Yeah, I don't have question, but but I still don't understand much why the dimension table and the fact table have three relationships, but for the others it's only one.
Okay, the question was you don't understand why the fact and the dimension table should be in a relation. Is it? Was that the question? Yeah, John?
So, yes, so for the dimension and the factor table, the relationship can be many relationships.
Yes. But in the cube, you will have the dimension equal to the number of relationship between the fact and the dimension. But of course, you might ask me, I should be getting a dimension for this and for this. That will not be applicable. It will be only applicable from the fact table to the dimension tables. Okay, so you can just count the number of lines that are connecting from your fact table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see you'll have 8 dimensions in here in the cube. So I'll have 8 dimensions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I have got one more extra here. Because it was a snowflake schema. So I just got for this extra table, but not for these relationships. Okay.
Yeah, I have one question. I feel this schema maybe lack one dimension called order dimension.
Come again, John.
I think this yesterday I played with the data. I found, in my opinion, I feel it's better for this schema to have a order dimension.
Okay.
If don't have that dimension, I don't know how to load the data, load the fact table.
Actually, that's not our priority at this point of time. Okay. So you're just asking me like, how do you load data into your data warehouses? Actually, it's from your OLTP system. That is, your data is archived and is pushed into your OLAP system. That is your data warehouse. Okay. For this also, you make use of ssis as I've shown you. So we are least bothered how we are going to get data in your data warehouse. So we just make use of these tables and then we build the cubes depending on the business requirement. That's it. Okay. So we really do not bother like how the data is coming into these tables. So our responsibility would be to analyze the data that is in the data warehouse, okay, and then consider the business requirements and then design a queue for it. Fine, John. So,
Yeah.
but of course, your question is, it's very simple. They use an SSIS package. Okay, I'll tell you from the beginning. They will study your OLTP system design, and then they will denormalize all those tables, and they will ensure that they would have minimum set of tables in your data warehouse, or which is your OLAP system. Okay. Excuse me. Fine. So your architect will design an OLAP system considering your OLTP design. So he is going to denormalize your complete OLTP system, and then OLAP system would be designed, and in OLAP system the table would be having multiple tables. Okay. So once the design is done, then an SSIS would be developed in order to archive the data from your OLTP system and then being dumped into your OLAP system. Okay. And you might be having a couple of transformations used and a couple of derived columns used. That's it. So that is all how your OLAP system will be coming into your picture, and that particular OLAP system is used, and then you will be managing your cubes. So now my requirement is I want to analyze the sales amount on a quarterly basis or on a monthly basis. So I'm just going with only one requirement for now, and I'm just going to build my data source view and then my cube. Okay. So they have given you a requirement in order to analyze the sales amount. I have got my sales amount, okay, on a quarterly basis. On a quarterly basis, on a monthly basis, and on an yearly basis. So this is my requirement. But they did not give me whether they want to analyze the sales amount on a fiscal year or on a calendar year. So basically we don't need all this stuff for that single requirement, but then I just pull in to just show you one after the other. So now I will be also showing you other business requirements. So they'll be giving a couple of business requirements. You will not get a single business requirement for analysis. Okay. So when all those business requirements, so you'll have to do a bit of homework, and you'll have to write down like what exactly the customer needs. That means what are all the dimensions he is expecting in the cube, and what are all the facts or the measures that he is expecting. Okay. So if I want the tax that I have paid for a fiscal year, I can analyze it. And if I want to know what was my total production cost for a given quarter, I will be able to know it. Okay. And I'll also be able to know like what was the freight I have made. So if you want to change your carrier of your products, okay, you can just estimate like how many products were being sold and what was the freight I have paid in a given quarter. Would I really make a difference? Okay, so your cube is very, very helpful in making business decisions because it gives you the complete analysis of your data. Clear, John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
So just do not get it into your mind like how your OLAP system is designed. It's again a very huge concept. You have got n number of denormalization processes in place. Okay, and that's not our headache. Okay, and definitely you'll have your OLAP system in place when you join as a BI developer. Okay, the only stuff we have to do is collect all the business requirements and then design a single cube for all the business requirements. That is your skill that would depend, or else you can break up the business requirements and then create multiple cubes. Okay, so it all depends on how skillful you are in creating one single cube for all the business requirements. Okay. Now I just deployed my cube. Now I'm going to analyze what was the sales I made. This is my total sales I have made okay, in all the years. So how many years you have got is what matters now. So I'm just going to drag and drop in my fiscal year. So I did my sales only in 2003 and 2005. I have not done any sales in my 2004 year. Okay, as per the data available to us. Okay, this company has made sales in 2003 and 2005. Okay, and then you have got 2 here, and then you have got 1 here. Forget about it. Okay, this is in my second semester, and this is my third quarter and fourth quarter, and this is my first semester, first quarter and second quarter. And when I expand this is in the month of January, February and March. So these are the sales that I have made. And in the fourth quarter, it's April, May and June. Okay. And if I just get on to my 2005, again I can just navigate one more level down. I'll have July, August and September. Okay, so this is my first quarter. So here you can just say the financial year is starting from July. Okay, since the fourth quarter is ending for June, okay, every time the financial year is starting for July for this particular organization, and these are the sales that I'm actually making it. Okay, so this is how you would be working on. And now if I want to just say what was the quantity that I have ordered, so I have this much of quantity has been ordered, and this was the sales amount that I have made. And then I do have my production cost. Okay, see, your production cost is always lesser when compared with your sales amount. So this is my production cost and this is my sales amount, and this is the quantity that has been ordered, okay, in this couple of years. Or else you can even navigate for quarter and then the monthly. So in the second quarter and the third month, sorry, second semester, third quarter, and these are the months. Okay, so dependingly you can just keep on analyzing it. Now I can also get my profit. My profit would be sales amount minus production cost. Okay, you can add in another measure, but that has to be done in your data source. Of course, I'll take it as a separate requirement. Okay, are you getting the things now, John? So this is how, or this is why we make use of the cube. Forget about the data. You have to be provided with the data, and from that data you will be analyzing the business.
Yeah,
okay.
got you. Thanks.
Okay. And now I just want to know in which country I have made these many purchases. Okay, I want the year, and in a given particular year and in a given country. Now this is a single dimension. So I have only x-axis on which I am measuring my time. So 2003 year and 2005 year. Now I am going to build my y-axis, and on the y-axis I am going to have my country. Okay, so in which country I have made how much of sales, or what was the sales amount in a given country. So for this I need to again get on to my, of course you can also analyze your cube here in your browser. And now I am also going on to my dim sales territory. So I'll have my sales territory country directly. So I'm just going to build one hierarchy. So it's perfectly placed, and I'm going to name it as country. Okay. So now when I drag and drop in this, I'll just get my sales territory country. Okay, in which country I have made my sales. For this again I'll have to process my cube. So every change you make, we will be deploying and processing the cube, okay? So I'll be getting my error count, so I'm just ignoring it. Okay. Now I've got my country now. So I'm just dragging only my country now. Now you can see. Forget about your sales category. This is not something that we really need. Okay, so I'm not expanding this. So in Australia, what was the sales amount that has been made? So this is the grand total again. Okay, this grand total is not going to change, but they are just like breaking up. Okay. Now we have sold actually 60,398 quantities were ordered. So this is where you can analyze like which country has ordered high and which country has ordered low. So if you see, United States has ordered quantities. Okay, in this 2005 year. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. If you see very clearly, 2003 has maximum number of sales and 2005 has reduced the number of sales. Yeah, someone was asking me a question. Okay, and you can just also analyze like which country has bought the least number of products. France is the country which had the less number of purchases in 2003, and in 2005 Germany was the country which bought or which ordered the least number of products. Okay, fine. So it's very easy to analyze the data once you have your cube. Okay, now I would also get into my currency now. Now I'll just see what was the sales amount, whether it was in dollars or euros, like how it has been purchased. Okay, so you can also get into this, and then the product keys. You can also check out which product was bought and what was the quantity that has been ordered for a given product. Now again, that will actually mess up and becomes a bit complex. So now I have used only 2 dimensions for just analyzing the data. Okay. Now you can also check out what was the tax amount that has been paid. Okay. So this is the tax amount that has been paid. Okay. In each of the countries and for a given financial year. Okay. And you can also see what was the freight that you have paid. Now, if I want to go for a specific product, okay, so I want to know which product, I want to just go by a product name, and I want to see which product was bought the most. Okay, I want to just classify and filter it by products. So just go back to my cube, and then I have my dim product. So I'll take my English product name because we are not sure on the Spanish and the French product names. So that's it. I just don't want to take anything else. I'll just have my English product name, and I would just say it to be product name. I'll not put in my product key. Of course, it will be okay. You can have it for performance improvement. Now again, I'm going to process my cube. Again, I get onto my management studio. Just reconnect. Now I have got my product name. I'll put my product name here. Now, I'll just find out. I have got several products now. I'm just looking out if I have got a bicycle. It's all frames. Okay. Fine, whatever it is. So now I'm just removing everything and I'll just say adjustable race and click on OK. No country has bought adjustable race. Okay. So let me just filter. Now you see very clearly the order quantity has drastically come down and even your prices. So something was bought here. I think should be ball bearings. No. So this is actually a filter, okay?
Try bike wash, that's been bought.
Okay, but this is what. So they have brought all-purpose bike stand, okay, bicycle stands. And now you can see like what was the quantity that was ordered, okay, on a per country basis, and what was the total production cost, and what was the sales amount. So this was the sales amount, 19,080, and this was the production cost, and this was the freight. Okay, $477 was paid. Okay, so this is how you would be analyzing, like how much quantity has been ordered for a given single product. Okay.
Hey, Naresh.
Yeah.
It looked like if you wanted to add a dimension for analysis, you have to build a hierarchy.
Yes.
So even
Now, yeah, go ahead.
even sometimes there is no hierarchy; they are parallel. So you still have to build that.
Yes. Why am I building a hierarchy is, see, I don't know what, okay, if I get into my members and all, I have just these many currencies, okay, currency keys, 1 or 5 currency keys, but there is no name for it, right? So in order to make an understanding, see, if you look into your dimension tables, all your dimension has a key. Every dimension table had a key now. That is how your dimension tables would be designed, okay? So every dimension table would have a primary key, which is nothing but a normal stuff key, which have got values. So when you just build your cube, all the dimension will have only the values which are available in the keys. The other attributes are not available. See, in my dim product key, okay, let me go into dim currency and show you. See, I've got currency key and currency name. But is there, your cube doesn't have the attribute called currency key, sorry, currency name. It just considers only one attribute, and that also the first attribute is considered in your dimension. So in order to pull the other attribute into your dimension, okay, see, or else you can do this thing, man. One more simpler stuff. I'm going to my dim currency. What are the attributes that are considered here? John? It's only currency key, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just getting that particular attribute in my cube. See, currency key I have got in my dim currency. There is only one attribute, which is my currency key. Now if I want to get one more attribute here, you can drag and drop in your currency name, and here there is no necessity to actually build a hierarchy. Now I'll just show you. See, I'm not building a hierarchy, but I've just added one more attribute to my dimension dim currency. But again, if you just put on here, see, create hierarchies in non-parent child dimensions. It will just give us an error to build a hierarchy, even though it's not needed. So that's the reason. So instead of having a warning in your cube, we just build a hierarchy. Okay. But let me just process and see if we can go ahead without building a hierarchy in this. Yes. Click on close, click on close. Now, I have just added in one more attribute and I have got my currency name, right? Now I can directly use my currency name. See, these are all my currencies. Now I can use my currency name in the financial year. And now I will be getting my Australian dollars. This was in 2003 and 2005. So how many Australian dollars? So I have sold Australian dollar product only in Australia. Okay. And then you have Canadian dollar, which I have sold only in Canada. And then you have your United Kingdom pound, which was sold in France and UK. And US dollar sales were made in almost all the countries. And this is the grand total. Fine. John, you get it now?
Yes. Another question is, this table
Yeah.
seems very complex. How can we export the results out?
How can you export?
Yeah.
I don't get you. You want to export the data from this?
Yeah. Yes. Just I don't know what.
Basically, this is what people would be using it for.
So they just look data like this. There's
Yes.
any other way to make it more presentable?
Actually, you do have a couple of third-party tools, okay, for analyzing your cube and for representing it in a report. Okay, so see, now I have included almost like 3 to 5 requirements in this, in this particular same cube, of course. So whenever someone asks a question, they just drag and drop it, and then they show, okay, boss, say these are the values. Okay. So I'm actually using a native tool, that is my management studio, for your cube analysis. But of course, organization might be having another different third-party tools as well for analyzing or presenting the cube. Okay. So I'm just creating in all my results. Now, depending upon your, I'm sorry, Venkat.
I think John asked one more question also.
Yeah, what was that?
What's the difference between build and deployment?
Okay. Deployment will not, okay, build will not move your changes to the database. It will just check and validate your cube process or cube design. Okay. But whereas your deploy will validate and also process it. It's the same thing in SSIS. Build is nothing but validation. Deployment is building and processing.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just stopping it here because it seems a bit complex to you all. So now just let me know if you have got any questions or any queries. So basically, what is that we are doing with analysis services? We are analyzing the data. Now, how do we analyze the data? By building a cube and dimensions. So presenting the data on multiple ways is nothing but analyzing your cube. Okay. Oh, I did not see your chat. So any questions?
Yeah, same John question. So basically, once we created cubes, so you said that there will be, I mean, we see some third-party tools to present these cubes to the end users. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, it could be a SharePoint, it could be reporting services, it could be your Cognos.
Okay, so using
Cube
that.
Cube can be consumed in n number of ways. That is their issue. Like we as a cube developers or cube designers, we just do this.
Okay, So basically, we don't give cubes. Basically, we or somebody else, they create reports or SharePoint kind of front-end tool to pull the data out of this cube, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So,
See,
okay.
From OLTP system, you can pull the data only in two-dimensional format.
Right.
Right? But whereas from your cube, you can pull the data in multi-dimensions. So that is what I have shown you in multi-dimensions. So I had my currency, I had my country, I had my fiscal year, I had my quarter, I had my month.
Right.
So almost I have made 5 dimensions. Yeah.
Right. Cube has 5 dimensions, for example. So
Okay.
if we build a report on that cube, can we do drill down, drill up, that kind of things on the report?
Yes, drill up and drill down. Yes, you can do that.
So basically, to see all 5 dimensions, can I see all 5 dimensions of the data in one report?
Yes, see, that is what we have done, right? So I'm just pulling in sales, order
Here
quantity.
we can see, right. My question is, here we can see, but what about if we design a report?
Yes, you will be seeing it in the same way. You'll have the same drill downs.
Okay, wonderful. Okay.
I'll be showing you a drilling down option also. See, even if you get into your Object Explorer, you have got this drilling down, right?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, if we create hierarchy, we can see the drill down and drill up kind of thing.
Yeah. So you'll be seeing a drill down like this. Yeah. But I would say, see, if your dimensions keep on increasing, it's a bit difficult in showing up in your reports. Your reporting might not look so good.
Okay. So basically, for end users, we provide access to the cubes. That's it.
Yeah, to this particular database. So they'll have access to this database, sample ssis, and whatever they want to pull, they just pull it.
Okay. Now I have a question. So let's assume that I'm new to this company, one company, from ABC company, newly joined.
Okay.
So my responsibility is just business intelligence developer. That is my role.
Okay.
So on the day one, what kind of access I should request for the SQL Server? I know that we need to request for read access to the data source and read and write access to data warehouse for SSIS packages.
I would say yes, you would be needing read access from your sources and read-write access to your destinations.
That's right. Then to create packages, to get access to the analysis server for those things, what kind of request we should make?
Definitely there would be your development boxes initially, and most probably you will be power user, I would say, on the server itself. Okay, so it depends. So if you are being asked to design your SSIS packages or cubes in your own desktop or laptop, then you will not request any special access, but just you'll have to need read access from your sources, and sometimes your sources could be test or dev, but then you would be again owner of those particular development environments.
Right, but to deploy them onto the server, then if DBA asks us like, okay, what kind of request, what kind of access you need, then what should we say?
Folder permission would be more than sufficient for file system deployments, and for your SQL deployment, you would be needing access to your MSDB database.
MSDB,
okay. And coming on to your cubes, you should be given a full control on the data source. So here I have my role. I just right click it on the properties. So in the membership, you just need to have a full control over the cube that you want to do.
Okay. So all those things are maintained by DBA.
Yes, mostly by DBS in a couple of environments, but whereas if a environment is completely owned by the developers, then you will have to do these activities also.
Okay.
Okay. So you do not worry, some of your team member will help you and add you in the members if it is completely owned by the developers.
Okay.
Actually, nowadays you will not find a job description defining your set of roles. Now they have started using a clause, something like this. The job would include, but not explicitly this. You got my point, Venkat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So they may be also varying from time to time. But then once you get into your environment, definitely people will help you out. But if you are the only one, then that would be that you'll have to work out. But of course, things are very simple, nothing much complicated.
Okay.
Naresh?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're adding a hierarchy and you get an error, it says something like attribute relation does not exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One or more levels of this hierarchy.
Okay.
Why does it? I mean, I just try to add currency and product. I've been getting it for all the hierarchies.
Yeah. So what you have to do is, once you drag and drop in here, get into your attribute relationships tab, and you should be seeing something like this.
Yeah.
You're seeing the same?
Yes. But then I just see I just see currency key, currency name.
Can I make you the presenter?
No, can you come and join me because I'm using a different laptop for this.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Just ping me in the join me stuff.
Yeah, so it's 297
Okay.
-212
Okay.
-240.
Okay.
So that's what I have. So then I go back to analysis services. Every time I tried to add.
Okay. Now here, your currency key will always be at your last level. So currency name should be in your level 1 and the currency key must be in your level 2.
Oh, okay.
Just right click, delete the hierarchy. Yeah, that's fine. That's all good.
Hold it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you get your attribute relationships correct, right?
Yes.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
So your keys would be always in your last level. Okay?
Okay.
Everything is good?
Yes, I guess just take a look at it. This is what I have.
Actually, the screen is blinking. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Some issue with joining. That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what I have set up right now.
So you're all good. You're almost same as mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
After this, that you tried to browse and you got that screen with all the, it really looked like a cube. I don't know how you got that.
Where? In the management studio?
Yeah, when you like final deployment, I guess. Finally, how your cube looks. What you did the first time you showed us.
Get into your BI studio.
Okay.
you have your tab Adventure Works. Just double click on your cube in the right hand side. This is what you're talking? Yeah?
I think so. But it's already browsing, right?
Yeah, you're in the browser part and you have your cube structure, which is the first tab again.
Right.
This thing?
No, it's not this. It's it looked like it just had but is this like the final, like whatever you see on the browse, is that the final?
Yeah, that's the final. That's what you see in your management studio also.
Yeah.
Or you just want to reconnect, right? Okay, just go on to your top left hand side and then you have a reconnect button. Not that, that's process. Say no.
Yeah. Okay, we can.
Reconnect that. Yeah. So that will give you a fresh cube. What are the changes that you have done?
Okay.
So now you will be able to see everything, okay?
Okay, I guess, yeah.
I think it's just process.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Fine. So any other questions?
Yesterday I tried to play with the data, but I couldn't deploy it. It's failed.
Oh, deploy your cube?
Yes.
Okay. Can I make you the presenter, John?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just sharing your screen and deploy and let's see. See, if you are not able to deploy a cube, it's hard that you would be playing with your cube. Okay, I see your screen. Okay, just pull it this way. Okay, it's all internal error. You are just getting the same error. Okay, and that is not supported for processing. That's good. Okay, just close it off. I'll just show you how to process it. Now right click on your data source. No. Okay, I mean to say the Adventure Works. Yeah, Adventure Works DW 2008 R2. Yeah, data source, John. No. .ds. Yeah, right click on that. And then view designer. View designer. Go with impersonation information. Yeah, the second tab. And then use service account. Click OK. Now right click on your project. Right click and then say process. No deployment, say process. Yeah. Say yes. Now go to your chain settings. Yeah. Yeah. Ignore. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You're all set. No. That's fine. Yeah. Click OK. And then run. Yeah, that's fine. Trace information. 1 second. Login failed for local service. Fine. Go to your services.msc. Go to your run prompt. Go to your run prompt. No. In the start button. Start Windows. Yeah. Start services.msc. Type in. Type services. Dot. Yeah. You have got your control panel, right? Yeah. Dot MSC. MSC. Enter. Search for your SQL there. No. Just draw. Yeah, come down. Scroll it down. Yeah, you have your analysis services. Right click on that. Properties. Log on tab. Local system account. Yeah, click OK. Restart it. Yeah. Similarly, do it for your reporting and integration services also later. Okay, you can do it for reporting and integration later. Okay, do that later for that. Now go to your this thing, BI Studio. Now that's fine. That's all good. That's all good. Now try to deploy your cube. Right click, process it. No, don't go that way. You're getting in errors. Yeah, go through process here. Whenever you want to deploy it, use the same way. You're done. Yeah, it's done. Fine, John. Okay. So get on to your management studio.
Thank you.
Okay. And there you should be seeing in your queue. Okay, fine guys then. Any other questions?
No.
All good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get through your hierarchies and dimensions, and tomorrow I'll take up a couple of other concepts, okay?
Okay.
Fine. Good night. Bye.
Great.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
The organizer